Chief Sales Officer, one of your four co-founders, and glad to be here this morning at Akana. And so, yes, I am late because of our phenomenal, motivational VP of training. Yes, none other than Coach Dan. So what did I tell Coach Dan? I told Coach Dan that he had to join us on the call this morning so that we can talk back and forth on one another about what it is we should be doing right now, headed towards the end of the month, headed towards our cruise. And that cruise, guys, is more than just a free trip. It's a time to build community. It's a time to get closer. And anybody that's ever won a company trip, here, especially here at Akana and other companies too, it just brings a bond that is unbreakable, that you can change the world with. And that's what we need to do. We need to be in community and in culture with everyone so that we can do this big endeavor that we have decided to do in taking health and wellness first across our neighborhoods, our communities, our cities, our states, and then the world. And so, Coach Dan, have you joined us yet? He was, of course, multitasking, but he is going to join us. But I do see another leader out here, and I want to bring him on. Yes, none other. He knows I'm picking on him. I'm saying he knows I am talking to none other than Minister Diamond Willie Mooney. I just want to ask you to say what you're doing in preparation. You're already unmuted. What you're doing in closing down this month, getting as many of your teammates and your leaders and on your team to that cruise. Want to share?
Great morning. Can you hear me? Great morning.
I can. Okay, that's why I can't hear you. My volume's down. I can hear you.
Wonderful. Great morning. Well, thank you for inviting me to speak, Phyllis. It's always a pleasure. Honestly, I love what I'm doing right now, and that is partying. That is making sure that I invite people to Saturday, Wednesday, for everything that's happening in Chicago, taking massive action. My intentional focus is to put points on the board to make sure that I go on that cruise, and not just myself, but my wife, the whole team. So just being very intentional about closing the month out strong. Meeting with the team. We met yesterday, Monday, with a Zoom call. And actually, I did a training as well. So doing everything that I guess you could say I've been doing from the very beginning, and encouraging the team to do the same and the company to do the same. So that's my action.
Awesome. I just like to say, guys, Minister Mooney had no idea I was going to call on him. He didn't he just started talking about what he's doing, because what he's doing is what he's doing. He didn't have to make it up. He didn't have to think about it. He just came on and showed up and shared with you guys what he's doing to let you know that it's possible. And, it's anybody's game right now. We always want to play ourselves short and don't really come up to the plate. You don't know who is out there waiting for you to give them a call, to have them invited to your lunch party, to do a lunch party. If you do a whole one every day until the end of the month, I bet you get on the cruise. But I think I might hear Coach Dan. Coach Dan, are you out there?
Hey, I am out here in these streets early in the morning. How are you, Miss Phyllis?
I am good, but I also told them you were the reason that I was late to this meeting. And because of that, I had invited you on the call, and to make sure, even though you're going to be on tomorrow, this does not excuse tomorrow. But you got to
wait a minute. So you threw me under the bus in front of all these people.
No, I didn't throw you under the bus. You came to rescue.
No, I love being on, and it's always a plump, pleasing pleasure, more than a privilege to be on with you. And so, I called you this morning because I wanted to know who was all going on the cruise with us, and we started talking about that, and then it led us right into this call. And I'm grateful that we, excuse me, we do have some people that's going. But I believe that we got a lot more that can go. What about you? What you thinking?
I believe the same thing. I just had Minister Mooney on talking about what he and his team is doing. I'm going to unmute him again because if he needs to just jump in here, he just shared that yesterday he had a meeting, looked at the numbers on his team, had a meeting to lay a plan out, and then had a training on top of it. I think that's very commendable and great. I see one of the winners on here, Steve Stuckey. And before we go off, I'm going to have him speak and talk about what he's doing.
Well, this is important, and I'm glad. One of the things I love about Mr. Diamond Mooney is that he's always leading from the front. And then here's what he does. Once he gets to the front and lead by example, he comes back and makes certain that the last person in the back understands what he did to get to the front. And that's taking ownership of leadership. If you're going to be successful in this business, I'm going to name call, and the only reason I'm name calling is because these individuals, time and time again, continues to pay attention, follow instructions, and now they are creating the instructions for their people to pay attention to, and as a result, they are winning. And so it's people like Mr. Diamond Mooney that I have to always regard because he is consistently taking ownership of leadership. All the way from back when. Bernadine Kirkland, I got to call her name because she is consistently taking ownership of leadership. Now we have new people coming in. Of course, we have the GGs and things like that. But now we got other new people. We got Soki coming in, taking ownership of leadership. And that's why these are the individuals, time in and time out, are always winning. I'm sorry, I got excited.
Okay,
so
that's
what's up,
all right.
Diamond Mooney?
You're unmuted. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Good to hear your voice.
Yes, sir. And so let's look at some of the things. What I want you to do real quick, because I know it's a short call, and then I'm going to ask whoever else Miss Phyllis unmuted the phone for. I need you in less than 120 seconds. So let's say 90 seconds to bullet point for some of the people what you do to take ownership of leadership as you build your business.
Less than 90 seconds. Let me go. One, I look at me in the mirror, number one. And I look at what my goal is. I'm getting a little feedback. But I look at what my goal is. I set my goal. I set my money goal because I know the numbers. Once I know the numbers, I just run. Now, while I'm running, I don't want to run alone. I look to see on my team those who I ask permission, who wants to run with me, and I ask for permission, let's go. I show them what I'm doing. They get the numbers.
Now, let me ask you real quick. So, number one, you set a goal, and you look at your numbers. And number two, you start running, and then you identify running partners, and you have them look at their numbers, and you look at their numbers with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me add one more. Let me add one more before number one. I look at what the company goal is. That's something I've incorporated new because it doesn't make sense for me to run against the company's goal.
Gotcha. And so you find yourself somewhere based on what the company's goal is. You find yourself a number that would not only be in alignment with their goal, but would also help you to reach your goal. And then you start seeing who's going to run with you, help them establish goals. But it all starts with understanding the numbers.
Yep.
All right, keep going. Give me two more.
Then cultivation, self-development, and cultivation. Because I never leave, even though I'm running with the team that I'm running with, I still have to build. So one, I'm always reaching out to build my team because I'm never really relying on my current team to run with me. I always tell them that I'm not relying on you to get to my numbers. So I'm always building. And
So let
then,
me ask you, that's a great point right there, Dr. Diamond, because now I don't believe that you're leaving your current team members behind. It sounds like you're creating leaders in them so they can start duplicating what you're doing. And you
yep,
keep building.
leaders build
Okay.
leaders.
There it is. There it is. I wanted to hear that come out. All right.
I
Yo,
love
Nash.
that. I love that. And I think people seem to think that that's the case. But Mooney, you have people at that meeting, at that scan event every week that are people you personally sponsor. So guys, don't get caught up in management mode. While he is helping and leading his team, pouring into his team, he's still actively recruiting himself. That's important.
Who else you got on the line, Miss Phyllis?
Well,
that you had unmuted.
I would like to unmute Stookie. Stookie, I saw you, but would you please unmute yourself, hit star, because I don't see you right now.
And can we have Bernadine? Is Bernadine on the line? If she's on the line, let's get her 90-second bullet point.
Where is
Phyllis, I'm here, but you can.
Yeah, Stookie. Yeah, he's on here, and Stookie is just a master recruiter. I mean, he never stops. I don't care if it's a contest going. I don't care what the heck is happening. I don't care if the world is on fire. You're going to see him out there with his phone stuck to his ear, which what does that equate to? That equates to I'm going to win whatever contest is out there because I'm never, ever, ever going to stop doing what I do, informing people. So, Stookie, tell your story. And how long, Coach Dan?
90 seconds. 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
90 seconds. Well, I just continue to, I don't say a lot of information. I just get people to check out information and get them on a call. I ask them to do me a favor, check out information, get them on a call, or I'll have them in the car with me, and I'll say, you know what, hey, let me see if someone's available right now, because they'll try to ask me questions, because I drive Uber, and then I'll get people on a call. Back on May 25th, I met this lady on Facebook, brand new lady. She speaks little English, but a lot of Spanish, and she was asking me if I could, help her understand, sales and insurance. I'm like, well, I never did insurance, but, I told her to talk to the most successful people she could find, and I said, to try to just get them to check out what you're doing and get them on a call. And I said, here, I'll show you how it's done. I said, I'm working with Akana, and my buddy Jesus Soriano could speak Spanish very well. I could, and she's like, well, what's Akana? And I said, well, just I'll send you some information, and let me just get you on a call with Jesus. I got a 4.5-minute video. She's like, okay. She checked it out. She's on a call. She came with a $2,000 package a couple of days ago, and then she sponsored her friend with a $2,000 package. So just on a complete stranger that I met on May 25th.
And
right. And let me say this, Stookie, congratulations. Here's what I tell everybody. It's not who you know, it's who you get to know. That's point one. Another thing that you just said that I want to highlight, Stookie, is this. It's not who you know, it's who you get to know. But the other piece was you properly positioned your proposition. She was talking to you about insurance. And you found a need that she had, that she was asking you about, and you repositioned her need, and utilized your third party close as an example to help meet her need, but then she wound up buying. So that's what I mean. If Stookie would have stayed on insurance, he would have became a consultant and would have walked away with no money. But he leveraged what her need was, understanding her pain, her fear, and her desire. Her desire was able to get more sales, and he taught her the third-party close, and as a result, he closed her. Was that right, Stookie?
That's right.
And so, everybody, what you got to do is you have to understand the only thing that's in a box in sales is how much it costs to get what you're selling. Everything else, you got to be able to use creativity. You got to know what their pains are. You got to know what their fears are. You got to know what their desires are. You heard Minister Mooney says he found out what their desire is. What are your desire goals? What are you trying to do? and then he met them right where they are. It's a bunch of people out here that's just waiting on you to say something. And if you follow the system, to Stuki's point, here's what he said. He said, I asked him to check it out. I follow back up. Now, tell me your follow-up system, Stuki, because we know the fortune is in the follow-up. Within
My
how many
follow-up?
days, how many minutes, or how many hours do you follow up?
I just say, hey, do me a favor, watch this 4.5-minute video, and let me disconnect you with my business partner I'm working with, and that's all I talk. And like a lot, this lady in California, these two ladies, they actually, Lupita's like, she's like, I want to talk to your friend. Can my other friend join us and join? I said, yeah, absolutely. And so this other lady, Letitia, got on, and you know, it was like that. And Jesus went in and started talking to them in Spanish, and I didn't understand anything except Stuki in Spanish, and that was it. I didn't understand nothing else.
Oh
But
my
I got you. And you know what? That third-party close is huge, you guys. And you hear us talk about the third-party close all the time. And who should you be doing your third-party close with? You should be doing your third-party close with your sponsor, with your upline.
Repeat that.
Because, all right, I'll do it again because you said so, and you the boss. You should be doing your third-party close with your sponsor, with your upline.
Repeat
And
that. Repeat that.
Yes, ma'am. Because you even a bigger boss. You should be doing the third-party close with your sponsor and with your or your upline. That's who you do the third-party close with. Let me tell you why. You do this for 3 reasons. Number one, when you tease it, and don't just introduce them, tease them up. Make certain that they know, hey, I want you to talk to my sponsor or my upline, or I wanted you to talk to someone who has done $100,000. His organization's done $100,000 within 30 days of this. I want you to talk to someone that, depending on who you're talking to, that have sold XYZ amount, that have had XYZ amount of customers. Well, guess what? Maybe it's not even about the money for them. Well, I want you to talk to somebody who had lupus or whatever the case may be, and as a result, they took this product and this happened.
Wow.
You gotta tee them up. You gotta tee up the person that you're introducing, because when you do that, what it's going to do is add credibility to your story. You want to be able to add, if you don't have a personal experience, you gotta add credibility. And that's why you got to go, you gotta take them to your upline, and you gotta take them to your sponsor, because they have credibility. They have a proven track record that what you're saying is actually correct, because you don't have a track record.
And while you're doing that, guys, you know, even when you get comfortable, the third party validation comes wherever you are, because if you're talking to somebody, but say 3-4 days, almost a week, then they start feeling familiar with you. I'm gonna always close somebody. I'm gonna get up Pastor Dan. I'm gonna get a Minister Mooney. I'm gonna reach out to someone that they can relate to, so we can close the deal. You know, it doesn't matter what your level is. Getting a third party to close the deal is always going to be.
Wait, you just said something.
Can I say one more thing?
You just said something. Let me just double dutch real quick. She used this key word. I'm going to bring somebody that they can relate to. Now, let me take that to Stuki. Stuki brought on Jesus because Jesus speaks her language. Now, in that case, we're talking naturally, and we're talking Spanish. But you got to know the language of the person you're talking to. And when you get the third party close, get somebody on the call that can speak their language. All right, go ahead. I'm done.
All right, last point. I want everybody to really hear what Stuki said. Duke, and I want you to think to the game. I want you to look it up, called Hot Potato.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I want everybody to look at the game, if you don't know what it is, called Hot Potato.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's right.
Stuki plays hot potato very well. He does not spend a lot of time after he meets a person. He has a pitch, and he immediately puts them on the phone with his upline or top leader. with his upline.
Right.
He does
And that's
it
why I asked
so
that question. Go ahead.
he
Go ahead,
does
Mooney.
it so fast that he's on the phone passing us people where we get burned out and tired, and I love it. I mean,
So watch
literally.
this. Watch how this goes. Watch how this goes. Suki, in essence, I meet Mooney. I'm talking to Mooney face to face in this particular case. I'm going to send him the video, but I'm going to show him the video right there while I'm with him.
Love
Instead of me spending 4 minutes talking about a whole bunch of stuff, just diarrhea at the mouth, I'm going to show him, man, check this video out real quick. Give me 4 minutes. Check this out. And I'm going to sit there and not say nothing. And I'm going to let that video marinate. And as soon as that video is done, I may ask, what do you like the most about this? Now, I know that Mooney is Greek life. He believes blue and white. I mean, that wasn't his, he didn't know no better back then. But at any rate, I know he believes blue and white. So now I get on a call with, let's say, one of his bros and say to his brother, hey, listen, I need you to share with Mooney why this opportunity is so powerful. Or vice versa. Mooney believes blue and white. I know a couple of his bros. I share them the video, and instead of me telling them, I call Mooney. And I do it immediately. Go ahead, Mooney. I'm sorry.
That is excellent. And you know what? One thing that I do observe about Suki, I love it because he moves himself out the way very quickly. Even he does share the information. A lot of times he'll call, he'll ask, where's this video? Where's this tool? He really keeps in contact daily with his upline because he's always closing. And even if when he first makes the introduction, he identifies he's not the one to close them. He's not the one to close them. So even as he shared a tool, he's putting them right on the phone. He's popping on the phone and passing it on quick. So just wanted to say that about Suki.
Suki, I just want to say you're going to make me step up my game because you are right, Coach Dan. Especially he got a captive audience. He could throw that video back there and say, hey, watch this while we're doing it. And so now I'm going to do some of the same things. I'm going to share that video. I'm thinking about this guy I met in the restaurant. We were talking. I should have showed him one of the videos. And by that time, we get back home. I send him more, follow up, get somebody on the phone, and it's a close. So you always are in learning mode, guys. And when we say put people in the seats, it does, people think, oh, I got a week. We have an event tomorrow. I know I need 2 weeks. I need a week to plan. No, just talk to people. Just put them in the seat so that they can see the opportunity and say yay or nay. And I love you for that, Stuki, that you never stop. You continue to do it, and you don't take, every minute counts for you when you're exposing your business. So a lot of us need to know that it happens like that, guys. You might not be a Stuki, but be whatever part of Stuki that you can be. Don't put off. The action is now. Do it now. Take action now. If you're new, put people in the butts in the seats so that your upline and things can do it through a launch party or whatever. It doesn't take forever to build this boat.
I love it.
I guess we can say
we 10 minutes over.
We way over. So, are there any questions? Because guys, we do this all the time, but people have questions. Don't be afraid to ask. You got Stuki, you got Mooney, you got Coach Dan, you got me on the line. Are there any questions? There's no question too small to be asked. We want you to win.
Phyllis,
yes.
Shirley, how's everybody? The South $50. I have a question about Saturdays. Are we doing 8 a.m. trainings on Saturdays?
I'm so glad you said that, Shirley, because I wanted to mention that before we got out. First of all, guys, tomorrow is our scam party. Come out. We're having more people. We're having more fun. We're having more signups with people walking away as customers and distributors. On Saturday in Chicago, we are having training from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Then we set up to start scanning at 10 to 11, and the presentation is after the scan. So at 11:15, we were out of there by 1 o'clock this past week, but our goal is to be out of there even earlier since we're going to move training to the hour before. You said that's early, and this is Saturday. We're providing a way, guys, for you to create financial freedom and leaving a legacy. So training 8 to 9, set up with the coaches, getting ready for your guests from 10 to 11. Start scanning at 10 through 11. Then afterwards, 11:10, no later than the 15, we're starting that presentation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And
Hey, Phyllis, it's Bernadine.
Okay.
Phyllis, can I just slip in for one quick second?
Yeah, girl,
I'm so fired up by everything I heard this morning. This is Bernadine in Boston. I'm not even going to talk about a 90-second. I'm just going to hit one thing that jumped out at me like a brick today. Show the video now while you're talking to people. I talk to everybody. And if you have 4 or 5 minutes and you're standing there talking, don't have diarrhea of the mouth, show that video now. Show
that
the
was
video
not
and then follow up.
That was not takeaway.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm. And guys,
and if
leaders
everybody
around
on
the
this call
country
did the same thing, we would all be doing the same thing. So let's just do it.
Winning. And guys, everybody, all the leaders around the country, you can do your Super Saturdays, your weekly trainings, your weekly meetings. I don't care if it starts with 2. That's how it starts sometimes. Okay. Anybody
Excuse
else?
me, Phyllis, this is Francine Perkins. Hi,
Hey,
guys. I have a
Francine.
quick question.
Yes.
Which video are you guys showing?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm using that new Akana video.
Excellent.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Excellent question.
What video is that?
Yeah. Where do we find it?
The Melissa Boston video.
Yes.
That's what I call it. It's on under the new Akana page, Akana Global Facebook page.
Okay.
So look up Akana under, I'm sorry, not Facebook, YouTube. Akana under YouTube, and you'll see 4 videos under there. Those are 4 videos you can use for your tubes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Is that it? Anybody else? Going once, going twice? If not, go out and push. And thank you. This has been a phenomenal call this morning, guys. Thank you so much.
Prosper.
Bye.
Thank you. God bless.